He tried it on with me whilst I was sleeping too. Bold as brass he was, there, bare-ass naked. I told him to fuck off. I could handle him. For me, what was worse was he had a load of Draco reptilians with him.
Okie dokie. That's not weird at all, is it? Bloody hell.
Oh, Master, we are preparing for your arrival.
Oh, Master, we are preparing for your arrival.
For you are the Prince of Darkness.
For you are the Prince of Darkness.
And we are your... Oh, shit, my hand.
Oh, shit, my hand.
Stupid bloody candles.
Stupid bloody candles.
Shut up! Stop it! Will you stop it?
Will you stop it?
Hello, good evening. Let me first deal with the elephant in the room. The Queen. The Queen is dead. I couldn't give a fuck. Okay? The only thing I give a fuck about is two things. She had a long life. I might do a separate video about this, but you know, there's not a lot to really say. You know, she had a very long life. I feel sorry for her family who are left. I feel serious fucking remorse over the fact that that big-eared twat Charles is now the king. Not my king. I've got no respect for that eco-sniffing bloody prick whatsoever. Couldn't give a fuck. I mean, at least one good thing. We won't have the Queen's speech, that banal speech on Christmas Day anymore. Of course, we'll have the King's speech. Of course, it was a hard year this year because we lost Mummy. Yeah, we lost Mummy. The corgi. Well, at least the corgis won't be blamed for pissing on the seats anymore now that she's dead. Fucking, I couldn't give a fuck. Couldn't give a shit. I find the whole idea of a person being in any kind of authority based on their genetic code to be the height of childishness, and they've all got the morals of bloody alley cats. I mean, let's be honest with you. There's so much inbreeding in the fucking royal family. You know, some of them could be candidates for the fucking X-Men. They've got so many mutations amongst them. They're all a bunch of wankers. Anyway. That's not what you came for. Tonight I will be discussing my memories of the Amiga computer and my thoughts go out to the Queen. I couldn't give a shit. You know, apart from the fact that someone has died, which is sad for the family, as I said. But the fact that that fucking arsehole, that big-eared twat, is now the king, and that fucking woman he's with looks like, you know, apparently she's called the Queen's consort or something. Should be called the fucking concubine. Looks like a fucking horse. Well, they all look like fucking horses, hence the X-Men reference. Anyway, so I'm going to talk about the Amiga. My memories of the Amiga. So, back in 1991, it was October time. I don't think my dad had been talking about it for very long. I don't remember, but that's the problem, you know, memory. It was 30 years ago. But I don't think he was talking about it. But he turned up with this magazine, Amiga format. And it came with a cover disc. And I remember the wonderful smell of the disc. Oh, it was lovely. It was it was a lovely kind of fresh, officey kind of smell, you know? It was lovely. So, you know, I was really quite taken aback with the magazine. And I remember it had, I think it had Amoeba Invaders or something on it, and I was kind of taken aback by how simple the game was. I thought, well, it's supposed to be the Amiga, it's supposed to be, better. So I read the magazine over and over, and it was a lot chunkier and it was a lot more professional than the specky mags at the time. The specky mags at the time were very fucking weird, some of them, whereas this was quite professionally put together, had a bit of class to it, So I don't remember my dad talking very much about getting one. But I know he did extra shifts in the officers' mess to pay for it. And, it was... I suppose I didn't really have much of an experience with the Amiga, to be honest with you. Because I remember saying to him, trying to convince him to get a Specky Plus 2. In my youthful naivete, because we then boxed all the Spectre stuff off and put it in the attic. So the pack we got, it was the 399 Cartoon Classics pack, but he got it from a place in a magazine called Diamond. I can still remember the advert. I've got it in front of me. But the funny thing is, I cannot to this day find the exact ad that we had. It says everything but the kitchen sink pack, but I'm still not sure. It doesn't completely match up, because it came with the pack, but it had extra discs, a keyboard cover, like a funny little joystick. It wasn't much cop. They came with a MiG-29 game. They had a mouse pad, and they had 5 games. Now, I can see why my dad did this, because it's fair enough, but I chose, I think we had Speedball 2 and Carve Up and Line of Fire, and then I think he chose Cadaver and Corporation. But to be honest with you, it would have been better if he just let me choose them, because I think I would have had the Turtles and Back to the Future 2, because he never played those games anyway. Oh, I got Monty Python as well, but that didn't come in a box, so I don't know why. I don't know about that. So I had the the standard pack, mouse mat, dust cover, yeah, all that shit. Oh, it came with a storage box as well. Okay, I'd forgotten about that. Yeah, and that was $3.99. So it had all these other extras, because he must have rung them up and asked for it. It was exciting. I remember he ordered it, and I knew it was coming, and I pretended to be sick in school, because I'd hoped it had come, and my dad came up from school to pick me up. And I said, is the computer come? No, it hasn't come yet. I was fucking gutted, because I kind of pretended to be ill just to get home, So anyway, it came probably a couple of days later on after that. And we set it up in the dining room. And the first thing I remember, we put on the Simpsons game, which came with it. Now, I think the game was probably shite. I'm not sure, because it was one of those, because I didn't really know what I was doing. Because you've got to go around spraying things which are pink, and I don't think I really knew what the hell I was doing. I think it probably wasn't a bad game, but we put it on this screen, and the introduction, it was just like watching the cartoon. It was amazing, It really was. I never got very far with it, and and then we had Lemmings as well. The music to Lemmings was amazing. It really, really was. We played that quite a bit, and Captain Planet. I mean, everybody kind of not Captain Planet, but it was, it was like the Greta Thunberg, but in game form. How dare you? Fuck off, Greta! But it wasn't a bad game. It was all right. Captain Planet. I didn't get very far in it, but it was it wasn't a bad game. It was weird. You were jumping amongst clouds and shit like that, but you know, it was all right. It was okay. But I remember, you know, he had this. I was talking to John, and he said that, you know, I remember that he had this crappy modulator which you could actually get rid of if you had the right wire. But unfortunately, I was stuck with the bloody thing. I remember the power supply. It was like a fucking brick. It was ridiculous. So we also got Deluxe Paint. I love Deluxe Paint 3. I did some really good. Well, John did as well, didn't he? I think he did some good pictures of aircraft, but I did a lot of renderings of like the Enterprise and things like that. And I also did these really, really great animations. I'd love to be able to get them off the disc if they still work. But I did like this sci-fi kind of Star Wars space opera animation, and different scenes. There was like this little bobblehead. He had like a bobblehead and like a stick body, and he ran along, and there was a bit with. So I would do like one animation, and then then there was another bit where he gets into a spaceship, and that took off. Then there was another animation where you saw the spaceship flying into the background, and basically you just put them all together. I mean, at the time it was a pain in the ass because you could only do it on a floppy disk. But later on, I think there was a compression thing called, I think it was called PP Anim or something, and you could compress your animations. And that was really useful. And it spread over 2 discs, and it had a bit where he swang across a chasm like Star Wars. I loved doing stuff like that. It was really good. And the magazine CU Amiga did a section, although they only provided the clip art for like the first bits, which I always thought was a bit odd. But they show you how to do like an animation, or a serial of Star Trek. So I kind of did like transporter effects and stuff like that. And I always had this idea, you know, when I got the PC, that I'd kind of carry on doing it. But I think by then there was more like 3D graphics, and there wasn't really a program like Deluxe Paint that I could find that was kind of that level of simplicity but easy to save, you know. So I never really carried on with it, to be honest. I did a bit, but not like I did with Deluxe Paint. I was always mucking around with Deluxe Paint and drawing things. And I love doing the animations, Star Trek stuff, you know. But yeah, anyway, oh shit, sorry. So, because it was around Christmas time, we got the Christmas version of Amiga format, and it came with a really great version of Lemmings, Christmas Lemmings. That was good fun. I remember playing that, and eventually, you know, I had it put up in my bedroom because I had the big TV. And my sister, I don't remember my sister ever really playing with it, but you know, obviously I played it quite a bit. And it wasn't that long until we started getting backups, you know. I remember Navy SEALs, that was a favourite. I enjoyed that. And James Pond, that was quite good. And Xenon 2, that was one of the first, they were like the first games we got. But it was quicker than the Spectrum, and it was the graphics were just brilliant, you know, compared to that. And also the cover discs had some really good stuff on them as well. There was one, I found it years later, but there was one, it had a piece of music on there, which was really good. I think it was called Magic Potion or something like that. I did find it recently, well, last year or so. And yeah, some really great music on there as well, because it had a really good sound chip. But because it was Christmas as well, you know, a couple of months afterwards, I can't remember. I can't remember if I got the print. Don't think I got the printer that year. I think I got the printer the year after. But I did get another mouse, which is more comfortable, and I got a Kamana external disk drive. And I also got an extra 1 megabyte board memory, but it was always a bit sketchy. It kind of crashed it very often. It wasn't very good. But I don't think I think I must have got the printer the year after, maybe 92. But I had quite a bit of stuff there, and I had such a great time playing with it. You know, it really was. It really was the dog's bollocks. So I think I'll end this section now. And then maybe carry on, but I can't remember. You know, I have to see what happens. But yeah, all the best. Talk to you again. Cheers.